Welcome to Win This Together,
our Q&A show where we support
inspire,
and empower. Now, it's driven by your questions.
Yes.
So you ask, we answer. What you have here, Camila?
All right, so I have a great question. She's asking, what do you always put in your smoothies? Do you use them as meal replacements? It's funny, I get this question all the time. Because I'm making smoothies all the time. Because I feel like smoothies...
And you post them on Insta. Some of them are so yummy looking.
So yummy.
I'm like, why should I come over
I actually
here
have one
soon?
all the time. I will.
Okay.
So the truth is that smoothies are not necessarily meal replacements, but you can actually see smoothies as meals, especially if you're trying to go on the go.
Yes.
You know, if you don't really have much time, they're a perfect breakfast solution.
Or when you're in between meetings,
yes,
like when
exactly.
like when you have an evil assistant who schedules back-to-back meetings for you and you have zero time to eat.
Are you
can't have a liquid meal. I'm just saying.
No, absolutely. And it doesn't even have to be very liquid. The point is that smoothies are an opportunity for you to pack as much nutrition in this as possible.
But can't you pack a lot of calories to it depending on what you put in it?
Let's break that down. Thank you, Nicole. Look at you. So, okay. Where I start with smoothies is the base. Now, you know, because a lot of people always ask me, what's a smoothie recipe? There are like literally millions of smoothie recipes just based on your preference and, you know, what you have in your house. You don't have to go specific smoothie shopping, right? More than likely you have these ingredients in your house.
So do you have like do's and don'ts?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start. The do is start with a liquid base. What is the liquid base gonna be? It can either be coconut water, which are an amazing source of electrolytes. Very good, an excellent base. It can be non-dairy milk. So you can do almond milk, you can do hemp milk, right? I really would not go with dairy for a smoothie base. So almond milk or hemp milk, perfect. Water, if you don't have any of those.
Is there a reason you don't go with dairy base?
A lot of people might be lactose either intolerant
I
or
know
sensitive.
dairy activate my sinus, so I don't ever go with no dairy.
I actually always recommend you kind of eliminating dairy for maybe like a 6-week period. Add it back in and see how your body responds to it.
Most people
don't
respond.
And the truth is there are a lot of disadvantages of going dairy. So why not go non-dairy?
Yes.
The healthier way. There are lots of benefits to almond milk or hemp milk. Almond milk is easy to just make, you know, if you have almonds. That's another story. But where the base is concerned, you can either do coconut milk, you can do coconut milk is one, coconut water, you can do water, or you can do almond milk or some kind of non-dairy beverage, right? So that's your basically base. That's what you're gonna choose. Then smoothies are a perfect opportunity for you to pack as many greens as possible. Remember, you're supposed to be getting 5 to 6 servings of greens every single day, and one serving is like 1 cup handful of greens. And so that's a lot of greens every day. So here's a perfect chance to just pack enough greens in there, right? Now,
I heard that when you blend the greens, you have to drink them within a certain time, or else all the nutritive value like disappears, or the enzymes break down.
Yes,
or something.
absolutely, they do.
So this is not a smoothie that you would pack to go
for
to work
hours,
with.
or you just keep it clean, keep it in cool in the refrigerator, or you can freeze it, for example. But the greens now, you won't even taste it. I know there are a lot of people who have like an adverse reaction to greens in general. If you are somebody that you don't like vegetables much, smoothies are the perfect opportunity because you're not necessarily going to taste them.
I put spinach in a smoothie one time and
you don't taste it. That's the point. And if you're in Jamaica, remember say callaloo is there. You don't have to go spinach, right? But greens, you want to think collard greens, you want to think kale, you want to think spinach or callaloo. All of those great greens, broccoli. And my favorite thing to do is actually, you won't taste it.
I was like, broccoli, that's me.
So, my favorite thing to do with greens is actually freeze them so that you don't have to use ice to kind of like water down the value of it.
Yes.
So what you can do is take your ice cube, for example. I make, you know, spinach cubes, or you can make callaloo cubes, where, you know, very quickly you can just, you know, throw in like 3 or 4 or 5 cubes, and there you have, you know, a perfect serving of greens right there, right? So you really want to take the opportunity to throw in as much nutrition as possible, especially where the greens are concerned, right? The next thing you want to do is, you know, just kind of add additives that are very, you know, you don't have to do them, but things like flaxseed, things like hemp seeds, seeds and nuts are a perfect addition to a smoothie. And then you end it off with the fruit, right? To be the sweetener. Don't ever put sugar in a smoothie. You don't need to do it. Okay. Right?
So you're saying the base?
Yes.
The greens?
Yes.
No sweetener?
Absolutely no sweetener. The fruit is the sweetener, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically I always buy a Hana bananas to freeze, when I
that
come home
gives it
from
that
the
creamy
thing.
texture.
Yes,
I always have
absolutely.
frozen banana in my freezer.
And then you have your bananas kind of eat throughout the week, you know, as fresh. But one of the don'ts, Nix, very quickly, is that you really want to make sure that you don't put too much fruit, especially if you're on your weight loss journey. The fruits add up. So you want to think of low glycemic fruits, things like berries, you know, blueberries, strawberries, and it's okay to go frozen. A lot of people think frozen means it's not healthy. That couldn't be further from the truth.
That's true.
Right? So go with berries, you know, maybe half a banana, and don't forget to count your fruits along the way, you know, so that, you know, if you only want to have 2 servings of fruit maximum a day, especially if you're on a weight loss journey. Some people just kind of like half a serving.
Right.
So count the fruit that you
Against
have
your
in
daily allowance.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so my question actually came from Laurie Daly.
Yes.
And she wants to know, how do you build a sisterhood no matter where you are in the world? Because women need to hear from other women and really experience the value of sisterhood. So clearly, we know the value of sisterhood. And
So
I
valuable.
really know the value of sisterhood. I have 2 biological sisters, 2 older sisters, and then I have friends like Camila.
Who
I
are
don't have,
sisters,
I have to keep it real. I don't have a great deal of friends, but I really believe quality over quantity is fine, because I used to have insecurities about not having many girlfriends, but then I really got comfortable with the fact that as long as the ones that I did have were quality relationships, then that was fine. But in terms of tips on building those relationships, I thought really deeply about this question, and then I wrote down the things that I wanted to share. So I think the first thing is to identify the types of women, sisters, that you want to build relationships with.
So meaning the qualities, the characteristics.
Think about it, you know what I mean? So I sometimes can be a little bit boring, a little bit of a homebody, and so it's really useful for me to have friends that are a
fun.
bit more,
who are joining you,
who is
like how
Nicole,
you
come
say.
out here, or Nicole, come there, you know, so to give me that balance.
Right.
I like friends that will push me and encourage me, positive types of friends around me and sisters. I want, I generally want people who are maybe at a similar stage of life that I am, but I've also found great value in, like, I have this one friend who is much older than I am, and it has been priceless because she's kind of walked my road before.
So
we have
she
very
teaches you a
similar
lot.
values and ambitions and are driven in similar ways, but she's much older, so she's done a lot of the things that I'm seeking to do, and she has raised a family and raised children, and she gives me
So you end up learning a lot.
valuable guidance, and I don't have to make certain mistakes, so she done that already and can guide me, you know.
Love that.
So I really respect that. I think, you know, you have to think about what it is for you. So it's important. Faith, for example, is important to me. So it's important to have people who I can talk to about that, and who, you know, we can
on
go
their
to church
spiritual
together.
journey. Yes.
Exactly. So think about that. Even if you don't have those people in your life right now, I always believe that even before things materialize in your life, you need to think about them and visualize them and say, boy, these are the people I want to hang out with. These are the people I'd love to spend time with and meet. And then you'd be surprised at how these people can kind of end up finding you, or you finding them. But don't bother think you're going to lock up in your house and then when you come knocking on the door.
You have to actively go and seek them.
So the other part of that is, where do they hang out? Where, you know, like, is it at church? Is it at Rotary Club? Is it through, you know, business networks? How are you going to meet some of these people? And then once you meet them, Camila, my other thing is you have to be bold. In other words, there's a woman I met who I really just felt drawn to, and I was like, wow, she's the kind of friend I'd like to have. I just invited her out to lunch. I wasn't worried about if I was going to look weird, she was going to think. So I
or
think
if
that's,
she
like,
denied
let's
it
go
or
have
whatever.
lunch and chat, you know. And it also involves then making the time for those relationships, because when you have a lot going on, it's very
so
easy
easily
to say, I don't have the time to do this, or I don't have the time to do that. But when you really prioritize relationships, and I always believe, you know, relationships make life.
Absolutely.
Whether it's platonic, romantic,
whatever,
family,
friendship,
kids, friendship, whatever. The quality of your relationships is the quality of your life.
Absolutely.
And so no matter what you're trying to build, where your ambitions take you, how many meetings you have, how much different roles you're trying to juggle, you need to make time for your relationships that are important to you. So that's your children, your partner, if you have one,
and your friendships.
And so, you know, when it comes on to my female, you know, friend relationships, I have to actually consciously sometimes make the time. It's not that I don't want to do it, but it's very easy to shove it to the aside and say, sure, I'll see Camila next year.
And then,
or you know what?
2-3 weeks go
but
by,
even I'll give you an example. Like there's a party that's going on, right? And a lot of my girlfriends are going, and that's the reason I'm going. It's not because
you
of
wouldn't
the party.
have normally gone.
No, it's not because of the party
You're
itself.
seeing
But
it
I
as
had
quality
to.
bonding
Thank
time.
you. I'm seeing it as an investment, and I even said that. I say, you know, Rochelle, you're here. Rochelle is in my. Sometimes when somebody rejects you more than once or 3 times, you stop asking. But anyway, back to the point, is that Rochelle, for example, is in Miami, and that's a relationship I really value. I love Rochelle to death, and she's here and she's going to the party, and Auntie Dana is going to the party, and I'm like, I really want to spend time with them, so I see that as an opportunity, and I go out of my way. It wouldn't be something that I would normally just be vibes up to go or do. I'd be like, wow, I can sleep. Wow, you extra time to relax.
Or catch up on work.
Exactly, but you have to stop yourself and you say, no, you know what? I'm investing time in this relationship.
And you know
whatever you want to grow and flourish, you have to invest in
it. And then that now, by investing in it, will re-energize you for all of the other things that you need to be doing anyway.
Absolutely. Like quality relationships is quality of life. So I want to sum up, because you always tell me I don't sum up. So to sum up, building sisterhood involves identifying the type of sisters that you want to have around you and build relationships with, making the time and committing to building those, and then being bold in terms of, you know, asking somebody you meet out to lunch if you want to sort of build a relationship with that person.
Love that.
And taking it, you know, really seriously and making a deliberate effort. It's about being deliberate and not sitting there waiting for it to fall into your lap.
Okay, and I love the fact that you kind of said that you can reach out of the age group, because we have this thinking that, you know, a friend has to be your exact age, your exact stage.
No, there is
so
much
value
in
actually, you know, it being the opposite.
Younger and older.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, and can I have an opportunity to quickly rehash mine? And one thing I really didn't get to mention is that make sure that your smoothie is protein based, right? So, you know, and don't necessarily think of, you know, meat as protein. We can do plant-based protein, so you can add a little bit of spirulina, you know, you can add the nuts and the seeds, you can add a plant-based protein, and, you know, the fact that you start with your base, you add your veggies to kind of hide them in there. Base, veggies, you add your little additives, so whatever it is that you have on hand, whether or not it's flaxseed or, you know, pumpkin seeds and nuts. And then your fruit is what you sweeten it with.
And don't add sugar.
And don't add sugar. Never add sugar. Or water for that matter.
Yay. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for your questions. Keep sending them. Without you, we have no show.
Yes. And it's all about you, right?
So keep sending the questions. Thanks so much. See you next week.